Hello again. Welcome back to another episode of Thinking Out Loud. My name is Ian Currey, and in these videos I tell you what I'm thinking about everyday life stuff. I live in a place where there's well over 100 miles of golf cart track. Almost everyone around here has a golf cart, and it's very normal and rather a pleasant way to get around. Our cart is getting a little bit old, but usually it's still reliable. Until recently, when it decided to stop working rather far from home. Come on, let me tell you what I think. Hello. Isn't it interesting how we get used to things just working? I mean, these days I would be surprised if when I flicked the light switch, the light didn't come on. Okay, so I know how it works. I understand how the switch functions and how the light bulb lights. And I even understand how the electricity is generated and transported. Even though I know, I don't think about it all the time, and certainly not when I just want to turn a light on. I just know it will work and don't usually even give it a second thought. When recording these videos, something similar is going on in the background. I understand how the camera works and how the microphone captures what I say. I understand how the lights need to be in the right place and so on. But rather than think about all those things, I have to concentrate on what I'm saying, or I would get all mixed up and lose my train of thought. Sometimes I do that anyway and have to stop while you're not looking. Before we lived here in this part of America, I don't think I'd ever ridden on a golf cart. At least I don't think so. I don't play golf, although a lot of my friends do, and I even grew up very close to one of the world's most famous golf courses. You see, I've never understood why you would ruin a perfectly good walk looking for a golf ball. Here, though, golf carts aren't used for golf very much at all. No, they're used for shopping trips to the supermarket or going out for dinner or any number of things for which most people would usually use a car. Our cart has a lovely old horn I brought years ago from a taxi driver in India. Now, our dog loves riding on the cart, and if he hears the horn or hears me say, "Do you want to go on the golf cart?" he'll usually go mental. It's a lot of fun and something people who visit us always seem to want to do. Can we go and ride on your cart? There are bridges and tunnels and even a crossing over the railway with its own crossing gates. Most bigger businesses have their parking spots for the carts, charging places and so on. And even the drive-through restaurants know how to serve the carts. Usually we plug the cart in, let it charge, and then it'll easily run for 20 or 30 miles or so, and we never have to think about it. Until over time, the range seemed to be getting less and less. The time between charges seemed to be getting shorter, and somehow things weren't going quite as well as usual. But the cart still functioned, so I didn't worry about it. We just used it. Eventually, one day, we ran out of power altogether, far from home, and had to plug into a charging point for at least half an hour or so. What could be wrong? The batteries were charged. They weren't very old. And I know I'd fully charged them before we left. Something wasn't right. And eventually I took the time to take a look and found the batteries were almost completely dry and needed water added to them. Yes, water. These batteries are an older type lead acid design, and although they have nice tight lids that stop most evaporation, some of the electrolyte in each cell still evaporates. The clever but very old technology needs a diluted sulfuric acid between each of the lead plates to allow them to function. Once that acid becomes less diluted, it still functions, but it doesn't fill all of the space between the lead plates, and so effectively the batteries become smaller in size, and so although charged, don't last as long. Now some of the cells were so low that I had to add a lot of water. I'm amazed it was still working at all. Something very simple that I hadn't done for months and months and months. Once the water was added and the electrolyte was back at the right concentration and the right level, off we went again for mile after mile without any worries at all. So instead of taking something for granted, I had to pay a little attention to simple maintenance once in a while. Last time we talked about David being upbeat one moment and like Eeyore the next. Let me quickly show you what I mean as a reminder. Psalm 141, the one after the one we looked at last time, starts off with David being Eeyore again. "Oh Lord, I'm calling to you. Please hurry. Listen when I cry to you for help." That's a bit like a, "Please don't stop now. Keep going. We're almost home. Come on, batteries. Don't die now." It's that kind of prayer, isn't it? But then, a few pages later, "I will exalt you, my God and King, and praise your name forever and ever. I will praise you every day. Yes, I will praise you forever. Great is the Lord. He is most worthy of praise. No one can measure his greatness." What a difference a few pages make. And just like the golf cart, I wonder if a refill of refreshing water to top up the batteries, a little bit of mental and spiritual refreshing, was the root cause, the same issue. You see, sometimes we do take things for granted, don't we? We flick a light switch or press record on a camera, in my case, jump on a golf cart and press the go pedal and expect things to work. Sometimes we need to slow down for a moment and refill. We need to recharge and do a little bit of simple maintenance. Just spending time alone with God or reading something that challenges us or refocuses our thoughts can really help, can't it? Our minds are just like those dry batteries, aren't they? Do you ever stop and have a think about good things? Now, we've looked at my favorite part of the Bible a number of times in the past, but there's a short section there in Philippians that tells us exactly what to do. Fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. Keep putting into practice all you have learned. Putting into practice all you've learned. That's the key, isn't it? I knew what to do. I know batteries need water once in a while. I just hadn't done it. Talking about it, thinking about it, knowing what's wrong doesn't work unless you do. You have to do something with what you know. We all know we need to renew our minds once in a while, don't we? And somehow, golf carts aren't the only thing that wind up not getting where they need to be because of poor maintenance. Until next time, goodbye.